My name is Claire, and I'm 26 years old. I work in an office, and today started like any other Tuesday morning. I was typing away at my desk when I heard my boss's voice coming from the break room. He was talking to someone, and something made me stop and listen. His words caught my attention immediately. He said she was perfect, that she had everything they needed, and that she was the one. My heart skipped a beat. Wait, was he talking about me? Then he continued, saying he liked her attitude and the way she talked. He said she was smart and kind. My mind started racing. This was serious. My boss had feelings for me. I couldn't believe what I was hearing, but it all made sense now. I started remembering little moments from the past few weeks. He had smiled at me during a meeting and told me I did a good job. He brought me coffee once. Were those signs? Of course they were. That explained why he always stopped to talk to me, why he asked me personal questions, and why he even remembered my birthday. I felt like I was living in a romantic movie. Everything seemed so clear now. Last Friday, he had told me we needed to talk on Tuesday. I thought it was about a work report, but maybe it was something completely different. What if he wanted to confess his feelings? What if he wanted to ask me out on a date? The more I thought about it, the more convinced I became. Maybe other people in the office already knew. That would explain why Sabrina gave me that strange look yesterday, and why another manager asked if I was seeing anyone. But something puzzled me. Why was he talking to someone else about this? Why didn't he just tell me directly? Maybe he was too nervous. Maybe he was asking a friend for advice on how to approach me. Or perhaps he was planning something romantic and needed help. My imagination was running wild with possibilities. At lunch, I couldn't keep it to myself any longer. I sat down with Paula, my best friend at work, and whispered that I thought our boss was in love with me. Her eyes went wide with surprise. She asked if I was serious, and I told her everything I had overheard. I repeated his exact words about me being perfect and being the one. Paula was shocked, but also excited for me. She wanted to know what I was going to do about it. I admitted I was both nervous and thrilled at the same time. That's when Sabrina walked past our table. Before I could stop her, Paula called out and told Sabrina the whole story. Sabrina's reaction was priceless. She joked that maybe he would buy me flowers or even sing me a love song during our next meeting. We all laughed, but part of me wondered if it could actually be true. What if he really did have romantic feelings for me? Just then, my phone buzzed. It was a message from my boss asking me to meet him in the conference room at 2 o'clock. My heart started pounding. This was it. This was the moment. Paula looked at me with excitement and said this was my big moment. Sabrina told me to be ready for his confession. I felt a mixture of excitement and anxiety flooding through me. Today was going to change everything. I was certain of it. As 2 o'clock approached, my mind wouldn't stop spinning. What would he say? How would he say it? Would he be nervous? Would I know how to respond? I kept replaying the words I had overheard, convincing myself that I had understood them correctly. There was no other explanation. He was going to tell me he had feelings for me. I walked into the conference room with my heart racing. He was already there, sitting at the table with a professional smile on his face. He thanked me for coming and said he wanted to discuss something very important. This was it. I held my breath, waiting for his confession, but then his words took a completely different direction. He started talking about my work performance, how I was always on time, how I helped my team, and how professional I was. I noticed a document on the table with my name on it, and the words "promotion candidate" written at the top. He told me they thought I was ready for more responsibility and offered me a promotion. He said I deserved it and that they were very happy with my contributions to the company. I sat there in complete shock, unable to process what was happening. This wasn't a love confession. This was about work. The words I had overheard in the break room suddenly made perfect sense in a totally different way. He had been talking about my job performance, not about romantic feelings. She was perfect for the promotion. She was the one they wanted to advance in the company. I accepted the promotion and thanked him, but inside I felt embarrassed and confused. When I left the conference room, Paula was waiting eagerly to hear what happened. I told her about the promotion, and she immediately understood. There was no romance, no confession, just a professional opportunity. She tried not to laugh, but I could see the amusement in her eyes. I laughed too, even though I felt foolish. That day taught me an important lesson. Sometimes we hear a few words and create an entire story in our minds based on what we want to believe rather than what is actually true. We jump to conclusions without asking questions or seeking clarity. I had been so sure that my boss had feelings for me that I ignored other possible explanations for what I heard. I let my imagination take control, and I built a fantasy that wasn't real. The truth is, we should always listen carefully and think clearly before we believe something, especially when it involves our emotions. What seemed like the beginning of a love story turned out to be the start of a new chapter in my career, and perhaps that was exactly what I needed all along.